Welcome to the FFF show. This episode will talk about Real Madrid versus Eibar. Bale started the game really well. He looked very hungry, few nice runs down the right wing, one cut in, shot, started netting, but he looked fired up for the match from the kickoff. Unfortunately for him and Real Madrid, Eibar took the lead in the 6th minute. Frank Rico with a nice strong header from across. Navas did get his hands onto it a little bit, but unable to keep it out. Bit surprising for Eibar to take the lead, but overall the way the game ended up panning out, it wasn't that big a surprise by the end of it. Madrid did equalize pretty quickly in the 17th minute through Bale from a Ronaldo cross. Ronaldo got past the defender down the left, put in a nice cross to the back post. Bale ran in, header, keeper jumps up and he goes down through his legs underneath him. Minutes after the equalizer for Madrid, Real's defense again got opened up. Pedro Leon, former Madrid player, who barely got a look in at Madrid, with a nice 1-2 down the wing, cuts in from a bit of an angle, well, tight angle. Powerful shot, but pretty much straight at Navas, who was able to block it, as he should. For the rest of the first half, it was pretty even actually. Surprising, especially Madrid being at home, but it was pretty even. Eibar was playing some really nice football, staying very compact when they lose possession. Nice two lines of fours, two strikers up front. They didn't press Madrid high up the field, only pressed them once they got into Eibar's half. Then they started pressing. They stayed compacting centrally. They seemed to allow, especially the fullbacks for Madrid, to get on the ball wide. They were obviously happy to let the crosses come in. For the most part, the crosses weren't very dangerous, so it worked out very well for them. On another day, there might have been a bad tactical decision. Ronaldo had a header he couldn't keep on target in the first half. But overall, it was pretty even in the first half. Eibar, when they did get possession, they didn't just pump it long. They actually tried to play nice football, and they did, especially Pedro Leon getting involved down the right wing. Some nice football from Eibar, very surprising, I have to say. Second half, Benzema went off for Morata, and it was a very good move. Benzema, from memory, only had one touch in the first half. It was an attempt at goal. He was a bit on a stretch from a low cross, but overall he didn't really get very involved in the first half, so needed to go off for anybody pretty much. Even put a central defender up front, probably do a better job than he did in the first half. In his defense, again, Eibar was very compact, very central. He didn't have much room to maneuver in, but having said that, being Benzema, you should try and find more space. Morata was more lively, moved to the left wing for Madrid. Ronaldo, him and Ronaldo seemed to switch a bit, so there was a bit more movement up front for Madrid, which caused a bit more headaches for Eibar's defense. And they did get open a few times more centrally in the second half. Eibar did. So obviously the Morata coming on, the movement between him and Ronaldo was much more dangerous for Madrid. Still didn't amount to anything, but it was more dangerous. It wasn't just attacking from fullbacks, basically putting in crosses. They actually opened them up through the center. On the other hand, Eibar, even though it was second half, it was 1-1. They didn't just sit back and hope to hold on for the draw. They actually, again, every time they had the ball, they pushed up. In the second half, their defensive line sometimes was actually very high up. They were leaving themselves open for a through ball with Ronaldo, Bale, a lot of pace. A few times through balls were attempted, cut out by the defense from Eibar. Otherwise, again, on another day, risky tactic can work against you. This day, it worked in their advantage. Ronaldo overall had a few headers off target. A chip came into him in the second half. First touch was poor, went straight to the goalie. Overall, not looking very sharp, especially around the box, going for goal. But obviously just came back from an injury recently, so might take him a little while to get back into his goal scoring form. Bale hit the post in the second half. Defender was just it was a long ball across the field towards Bale, but he was going straight to the defender. He's just waiting for the ball to come to him to clear it. Bale attacked it, came from around him, attacked it, edge of the box, header, hit the post. Very nice header. Not sure if the keeper had that saved or not, but either way, very nice header from Bale. But overall, that was it. Madrid, very underwhelming overall. The midfield, whether it's because Madrid wasn't there or not, but underwhelming really, couldn't really take control of the game in the midfield. Kovacic, possibly the best central midfielder performer for Madrid. Defensively, as always, not very strong. I never really rated Pepe very high. It's the central defender. He has improved, I think. And I think he does have the natural talent there, but I don't think he's always very consistent. He was very good for Portugal at the Euros, but overall not usually very consistent. If he has a really good game, he's great. If he has one of his crazy moments, well, he's far from great, obviously, isn't he? Varane didn't do too bad. Did get subbed off for Nacho Gonzalez in the second half. Not too sure why. Personally, I'd give Varane a bit more playing time. He's obviously a raw talent that needs more game time to really develop to his full potential. And personally, I would play him over Pepe, but that was my opinion. But Eibar, very impressive. Even in the second half, they kept attacking. They never really looked extremely dangerous, but there was a few attacks where they should have done better. The decision making, the final pass just wasn't quite there, but they were very impressive, very impressive. I give them pretty much a 10 out of 10 just for the fact that they went to Madrid, they went to the Bernabeu Stadium, and they took the lead. And even after they took the lead, they didn't just park the bus and hope to hold Madrid out. When they got the ball, they still pushed up. The defensive line, the midfield, everybody pushed up as a unit. Yes, on another day, they might have been opened up a bit better by Madrid and might have conceded 3-4 goals. But the fact that they actually came and tried to play football for their main reason, and they played some nice football, I'll give them a 10 out of 10. Madrid, well, I guess considering they're at home against Eibar, probably can't really give them better than a 5 out of 10. Eibar have had a good start to the season, so obviously they're not really a pushover, but Madrid at home, you'd expect them to dominate Eibar a bit more than they did. Well, they didn't really dominate at all, it was pretty even, so you expect them to dominate the game. We'll see how they go. That is the fourth draw in a row in all competitions for Madrid. Las Palmas, Eibar, Dortmund in midweek. I did predict Dortmund to win that 3-2 last week, so wasn't far off of that upset. So we'll see if they can bounce back in 2 weeks' time. Next week we have the international break, so we'll see. We'll have a few internationals hopefully that I can review for you guys. But overall, Eibar 10 out of 10. A great game to watch. As a Madrid fan, obviously disappointed they didn't get the win, but as a neutral, it would have been a great game to watch, despite of it only being 1-1. Great football, and this is why I like Spanish football. The fact that teams play nice passing games usually. They're not always, but usually they look to play the passing games. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all next week.